are watching Coffee Time with Erika. Apparently, my camera this time gave up and refused to work. So that's why you will be seeing today only this image of mine because, sorry, I don't have an idea what is happening with the camera. It has never happened before. I really hope that you can at least hear me and you can see this beautiful pendant on this screen. I see Judith and I see Iveta saying hi. Dear ladies, let me know if you can hear me at least. I hope that that is all right. And Jennifer is also here. Let me know, please, ladies, if you can hear me. Okay, Irene says that she can hear me and see me. That's weird because I don't see myself. I just see an image. So, can you also see me or just an image, ladies? Susanna is also here and Corinne. Okay, you see the picture to be on the same page. And Sarah is also here. Welcome, everyone, ladies. So, today it is time to say goodbye to the Coral Garden Beading School Academy team box. During these past 2 months, we have been exploring the underwater worlds. And I invited you to, well, not to ignore, but to embrace the fears within and believe that they are holding you back from beauty that you could not even imagine. So, today we are going to see the beautiful entries of the Beading School Academy Mini Challenge or bi-monthly tradition. There are still also a few tutorials waiting for you. I even have a surprise. And the second signature jewel that you see on the screen, the Mugire that I designed for you, is now also available in the Beading School bead shop. If you are a Fuchsia level Beading School Academy student, then please head over to the website and download the tutorial so you can bead your heart out. I finished beading the second color combination during the weekend, by the way, and I had not only lots of fun while drawing the instructions, but I have a feeling that this is again a bezel that will teach you a lot. A multi layered look, hiding treasures just like the underwater theme. And there is also more to bead because, as goes the tradition, always on the first Monday of the month, we release the specific tutorial of the beader's calendar. The beader's calendar, it is an on one hand an actual calendar that you can hang on the wall, and also on the other hand it brings you 12 tutorials one by one. And today it is time to download Ruxandra Pushkash's beautiful rhombic tutorial that she has designed for you. So I will also share with you the link. You can also find 3 different bead bundles in the bead shop. So as you can see, this pendant consists of many different elements. So to make it easy for you to collect everything that you need, You can also go for a bead bundle and choose one of the color combinations that we designed for you. And thank you, ladies, for loving this. In the meantime, I seek, honey, the bad news regarding your health and all all my positive thoughts. A big virtual embrace go out to you. I don't have words, and I wish you all the strength so you can keep moving forward step by step through this unimaginably heavy battle. Very big hugs, Connie. You are one of my first beading friends from the Netherlands, and I really, really appreciate it, and I will be thinking of you. And lovely ladies, as I mentioned, the Coral Garden Beading School Academy team is here to invite you on a journey through fears, overcoming the shadows and learning those tiny lessons that what is possible beyond our imagination, thanks to also our beading. And during the weekend, I actually wrote for you an article about my own journey, how I overcame the shadows lurking in the darkness, how I overcame the fears that about what is not possible, for what I am not enough in life, and by believing that a lot more is possible than what I was told as a child, what I was told by society, I could move forward. In the end of the article, in the second half of the article, I also invite you to follow little exercises on your bead mat to see how you can get out of your comfort zone and strengthen your will to move on, to move forward and embrace new unknown territories. Thank you so much, everyone who has read it already. I started to write these more personal articles recently, and it is a great pleasure and also very, very vulnerable feeling to share them with you. So thank you so much, everyone, for your kind words, who sent a comment, who wrote a comment, or who sent a message. Thank you, ladies. And now I would like to invite you to admire the beautiful, beautiful entries of the Coral Garden mini challenge. And before we would move on, I would like to give you a little time to give your warm embrace to Honey, who needs all the strength and all the positive vibes. Linda says, prayers for you, Honey. My hubby also has cancer, although it is in his kidneys, which is treatable, thank goodness. Rachel says, I know how that feels, Honey. Please see your doctor and have much rest. And Cindy says, I am so sorry, Honey. I am keeping you, my heart, and in my prayers. Molly is wishing speedy recovery. And Jen is sending love and light. And Antoinette says, Honey, we are here for you. And lovely ladies, let's now admire the shiny beauties created by our fellow beaders for a little bit and celebrate their beautiful artistry and creativity. So first of all, I would like to show you a pair of earrings created by Laura. And Laura started with a cute little motif created from Milky Twist beads, and in the middle, one of the 10 millimeter cushion cut Aurora crystal cabochons. We all love the so-called inches, where one of the sides of a square is created from a Milky Twist bead. And this frame provides a beautiful backdrop, a beautiful embrace that is reaching, this time in Laura's jewel, inwards and also outwards of the square. And Ivete says, so beautiful. And thank you so much for loving it. It's a great balance of the colors, and I love how organic the decoration outside of the frame looks like. Then we have here Samia, and Samia is famous in the Beading School Club for her beautiful pictures and also for her neat beadwork. The lines that she is creating from seed beads and shaped beads, they are perfectly flowing. When she pulls a thread, then it is just right. You can see from those lines of seed beads that they are not overstretched, they are not loose, they are framing the horizontal cradle beads elegantly and with ease, embracing the beautiful pieces of glass. And Samia chose a combination of mainly yellow and purple and pink with a little bit of beige and white, and it creates a beautiful, peaceful balance. Again, some beaded beads also included, and Linda admires the beaded beads very much. Lita says, gorgeous work, Laura. And Michaela says, absolutely love the beaded beads, Samia. Then we have here a necklace created by Melissa. And Melissa took the Coral Garden on a more romantic spin. She accepted my invitation to create something asymmetrical. And thank you so much for being so brave, dear Melissa. There is a main motif in the middle. Oh, and now I see that we even have a charm coming from the Fairy Forest Beading School Academy team. So no wonder that I had that fairy vibe from this gentle, soft necklace of Melissa's. She added two more smaller motifs, smaller variations of her main component. And lovely ladies, please celebrate Melissa's brave step to create an asymmetrical jewel. So well deserved. Chantal says, gorgeous. I love the asymmetrical composition. And Rachel says, wow, wow, wow. And Judith says, gorgeous and like a garden. Then we have here Terry. And Terry, every time when I see the result of your creativity, I tend to shout out. My eyes are sparkling. And I just admire you so, so, so much for all your beady explorations. The little details that I like here the most are how the turquoise colored teacup beads are opening up into kind of like a butterfly shape. And also how you included the toggle clasp at the bottom part of the pendant. There is the fishtail, and above it, a metal circle filled with glass beads in a beautiful balance with the pendant itself. Mer says, what imagination. And Deb says, that is super innovative. And Cindy says, Terry, your necklace is gorgeous. And Ariana says, super ingy. Oh, I love it, and thank you all for your kind words to everyone. And then we have here Ariana. And what an unusual piece of jewel, because usually we see pendants, necklaces, earrings, sometimes even bracelets. However, it's very, very rare that we would see a ring as an entry. So, Ariana, thank you so much already for submitting a ring, but also submitting such a beautiful ring. Not only the front part of it is decorative, but the whole ring, also the band around the finger, deserves attention. Perfect balance of colors and shapes. So lovely, ladies. I hope that you like Ariana's ring just as much as I do. Deb says, so cute. And Shanta says, oh, Ariana, how wonderful a ring, and what a beauty. And Antoinette says, I love your ring, very beautiful. Then we have here Patricia. And this is again a real coral garden. 3 sea stars, and then anemones and plants from the underwater world. A beautiful balance of shapes and colors again. And lovelies, I would like to also direct your attention towards the negative space in the middle of the necklace. So we don't always have to add the sparkliest, fanciest component in the middle. Patricia here selected an empty ring, and that is directing our attention towards the other parts of the necklace, which is very innovative. Love your idea, Patricia. And Merle says, awesome. I want to go to the beach. Lutka says, it's wonderful. And Kristen says, wow, Patricia, stunning. And then we have here Sinya. And dear Sinya, I don't know if you were inspired by a specific underwater creature, but this is something that I could totally imagine by floating above a beautiful, peaceful coral reef, exploring the rocks and peeking behind the leaves. And I would not be surprised if your beautiful, sparkly, colorful creature was sitting there underwater. Sinya included one of the 10 millimeter cushion cuts and also 8 pieces, as many as 8 pieces of the raindrop cabochons. Lita says it looks like an anemone. Indeed. Warm tones. Deb says beautiful to go with the theme. And Lutka says so beautiful, Sinya. Then we have here Kirsten, a cute pair of earrings, beaded following one of Zuzi's motifs. And ladies, even when we follow a tutorial specifically, there are so many choices to make. And Kirsten did an amazing job with making her decisions. The colors are harmonious, yet also very lively. She decided on hanging the beaded motif by one of its sides instead of joining the corners of the square, and she selected a perfectly matching earring hook. So well done, dear Kirsten. Thank you so much for entering the mini challenge. Other Kirsten says, lovely. And Deb says, very nice for little earrings. And then we have here Michaela. Michaela, and Michaela created her own motif again with plenty of negative space. I love it, ladies, that you don't shy away from unusual solutions. Again, there is a sparkly crystal sitting in the middle, some raindrop cabochons, and then lots of playtime on Michaela's bead mat, the result of a beautiful creative playtime on Michaela's bead mat. And she used the horizontal cradle beads, Preciosa bicons. She also used gecko beads, which I want to point out that they are challenging to fix in a way that they don't turn around. So very well done, Michaela. And I'm absolutely in love with the top part with the arches beaded with peyote stitch and then the Preciosa bicon bead sitting in the middle. And Ariana says, I like a design with magic number 3 and a surprising difference on the top. So well said, Ariana. And Kristen says, so pretty. And Susan finds it gorgeous. Then we have here Lita. Oh my God, Lita. This is, again, like a true detail of a coral reef. Creatures from the underwater world, fishes, maybe anemones, flowers, underwater flowers, so many beautiful details to look at. I'm absolutely in love with it. I love the bottom part with the yellow cushion cuts. And I also admire very much the gemstone cabochons with the cradles. But my absolute favorite is probably the baguette with the smaller raindrop cabochons all around. It really brings back the atmosphere of an underwater coral garden. Lisa says, Lita, the details and shapes and colors are fantastic. And Sherry says, wow, it's beautiful, Lita. And Ariana says, what shall I say? Another amazing Lita design. Then we have here Katja. And I also really, really like Katja's creation. Katja created a bezel for the 18 millimeter Preciosa cushion cut. She included plenty, 12 pieces of 2.8 millimeter Preciosa swan rhinestones, and she also decided to hang the metal coral branch at the bottom. And Katja, how the horizontal cradles are alternating, every second one closer to the middle and the rest closer to the edge. That was also a great idea. And this solution brings movement into the piece. And in the meantime, Lita is happy with everyone's kind words. And Ariana says, I like the soft colors and the pop of red. And Susan says, beautiful, Katya, love the coral as a drop. And Kristen says, so pretty, creative bezel, and love the use of the findings. Then we have here Yona. Yona is one of our newer beaders. And ladies, look at all the details. Look at the well-chosen balance of colors. Look at the very innovative shapes. Look at the perfect, sharp picture. Yona, that main motif, which is a starfish actually, and you are even following the natural rule of a starfish having 5 legs, and then you decorated it with these picots. I really, really like the picots. And then also, I would like to point out how the strand around the neck, it is gradually decreasing from the thickest parts towards the thinnest, and that is also very well balanced. Iona, a beautiful piece. Kristen says, so pretty, Yona. Love the color combination. And Jessica says, stunning, Yona. Love the teacups and everything. And Linda says, I love the echoing of small motifs of the larger ones. Then we have here Hannah. And Hannah created such a cutie. There is so much aliveness in this beautiful little pendant. Aliveness because of the colors, aliveness because of the yellow pop, aliveness also because of a specific shape. How those Y-shaped seed bead decorations all around the cabochon, they are starting out with the 2 legs on the edge and then pointing towards the middle. That directs the attention, that directs the whole energy of the piece, and that also brings in playfulness and aliveness. Hannah, beautifully done. Also, I appreciated that you decided to hang the fishtail at the top and go on a different journey. Sandy says, a volcano of beads. Well, Hannah is from Iceland, so there must be some impact on her art. And Ariana says, I love that you achieved using cradles as a bezel. So pretty. And ladies, like, it is possible to be the bezel, basically, it seems, from all kinds of shaped beads. And I'm so happy to see so many horizontal cradle bead bezels also this time. Then we have here, let me see, Crayola. So Crayola is also one of our newer beaders, and I am so incredibly happy to welcome you between our Beading School Academy students. Again, a soft, beautiful image and a great little bezel around the cushion cut. The bezel also includes some Preciosa Suwon rhinestones, and then there are shaped beads hiding under the decorations made from peyote stitch. The little tassel again makes it super playful and matches the strand around the neck perfectly. And Lita says, very well done, and welcome, Crayola. And Kristen says, such a pretty pendant, Crayola. And Terry says, I love it. And then we have here Caroline. And Caroline, this is your signature again. Not only because of the statement earrings, not only because of the technique that you use, the bead embroidery, but also because of the setting sun that I can see in this beaded image of yours. Your artistic touch, it's it's just accompanies you day by day in the beading school club, jewel by jewel, and there is always something very personal about your creations. And that is, ladies, true art when we manage to bring a little piece of our souls into what we are beading, writing, drawing, painting. That is what real artistry is. Congratulations, Caroline. And Jen says, oh my goodness, these are amazing, Caroline. And Hannah says, beautiful sunset. And Judith says, love the sun and your vibrant colors. Then we have here Angelica. And Angelica's bead embroidery. I'm in love with it. I'm absolutely in love with it. The picture is also perfect, but like, look at the balance of the colors, ladies. There is that beautiful gemstone, turquoise colored gemstone cabochon in the middle, absolutely 100% driving our attention, where Angelica wants us to look at. Then there is a tiny, tiny pool of blue under it, but not overpowering, quite the contrary, strengthening the effect. Then we have the yellow cabochons, and one of my favorite parts of the many, the gradually decreasing size of the pearls on the two sides of the cushion cut cabochons. The fringe is perfect, the lines of the embroidery are perfect, and also the part, the kind of the veil on top of the cushion cut and the gemstone cabochon, it looks like as if it was crowning the whole creation. And Lutka says, stunning, Angelica. And Rachel and Ariana says, just wow. And Kristen says, oh, Angelica, I love it. Then I have here Anita. And ladies, one of the trickiest things to beat, in my opinion, is following in the footsteps of a living creature. It is so easy to go on a kind of like a kindergarten style when we are beading animals. However, Anita embraced the challenge of beading a seahorse wonderfully. And this is nothing childish. This is well balanced. The lines are amazing. And I am very much in love with how she included the four pieces of 5 times 10 millimeter dark blue nuggets, and then kind of mirroring the shape, all those horizontal cradle beads. The mane of the seahorse is of a matte greenish turquoise color, and it also comes back a tiny bit in the belly of the seahorse. And Ariana says, one of the most adorable embroidery pieces I have ever seen. Absolutely. It is perfect. Belinda says, wow. And Lisa says, amazing, Anita. And then the last creation is from Carol, another creature, this time a sea turtle. I want to point out, besides the turtle itself, also the part around the neck. Ladies, it is always a challenge for us to bead something that doesn't take ages to finish, but also is more than just a strand of seed beads. And Carol solved this challenge wonderfully. Also, how she hang the turtle itself is just perfectly balanced. And also already she included the Preciosa bezel chain that we are just starting to explore and play with. So kudos to you, dear Carol. So, lovely ladies, I would like to thank everyone who entered a piece in the Beading School Academy mini challenge. All of you deserve to be celebrated. All of you are winners. The most important goal of the mini challenge is to, on one hand, get out of our comfort zones, and also, on the other hand, to create a visual diary of our own beading. How you submit a piece team by team, and you might save them into a specific folder. I promise you that when you look back from time to time, it will be a wonderful, wonderful feeling to see your progress and journey. But now, ladies, I would like to invite you to celebrate the talent winners of the Coral Garden Mini Challenge. The creative team of Beading School always selects together two talent winners, one for bead weaving and one for bead embroidery. So the bead weaving winner of the Coral Garden is Yona. Yona, congratulations and thank you so much for this beautiful piece. And the bead embroidery winner is Anita with her amazing, cute, perfect little seahorse. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations, Yona and Anita. Lovely ladies, in the meantime, I would also like to invite you to help me selecting the lucky winner of the mini challenge. We have 18 entries altogether. So please tell me a number between 1 and 18, and between the first three numbers that I see, I will find the middle and the average number between those three, and then I will find who is the winner of the mini challenge. The entries are not in alphabetical order. They are in order how they were modified. So it does not mean if you say a small number that someone with the letter A would win automatically. So we have a number 18 from Cindy. Then we have a number 7 from Ariane. And then 28 is not a good number, Linda, because I needed a number between 18 and 7. So, oh, sorry, ladies, I need to start anew because there were already numbers that I didn't see. There was 4 from Chantal. There was 1 from Kristen. And then 11 from Sharon. Altogether, that's 16. And the average of that is 5. So let's see who is the fifth one. Melissa is the fifth one on my little list, in my little folder. So Melissa, congratulations as the talent winner, as the lucky winner of the Coral Garden mini challenge. And thank you everyone for your help in voting. And lovely ladies, there are still some juvos and tutorials coming for the Coral Garden team. So many of you loved the 18 millimeter Preciosa and Aurora crystal cushion cuts. One of our lovely designers who loved the cushion cuts was Laura. And Laura created this amazing radiating jewel for you ladies, also complete with a tutorial. And we will release the tutorial next week. There is still a bit of a waiting time for it. However, you can now secure this tutorial from Laura, complete with the bezel of the 18 millimeter cushion cut, and also complete with this decorative bottom part. So it's basically two jewels in one as a gift. So, lovely ladies, if you place an order before next week's Coffee Time with Erika, it means 7th of July 2026, 5 p.m. Central European Time, 11 a.m. New York City, 8 a.m. California, or 3 a.m. New Zealand Fay time, for at least 49 euros, $56, or 42 pounds. It needs to be one sum deducted after discounts and gift codes. So if you place an order in this specific time frame for at least these amounts, then next week on Wednesday we will be in touch with your gift, which is Laura's Rubrum tutorial, and you will learn from it how to bezel the Preciosa cushion cut in a different way, and also how to join the raindrop cabochons into this amazing construction. But ladies, there is more inspiration coming. You know that I love very, very much to play with the hand painted, handmade cabochons from the Czech Republic and Germany. And today I have some new ones from you. I selected this because they really fit according to my my taste, to the Coral Garden Beadingschool Academy theme box. So look at this hand pressed, hand painted cabochon. Doesn't it look like a little middle of the sea urchin? And in so cute colors. Well, Susie definitely thought of it, that it fits the underwater world. And guess what? Last Friday, she started to play with this cute cabochon. And this is the result. This tutorial is not yet released, and we will release it in a little time. And you can bead it by using one of these super nice coral flower handmade, hand painted cabochons. You can find all the different colors in the Beadingschool bead shop. The best place to head to is the new in the bead shop category, where you always see the novelties. However, by the way, my favorite is the light blue with the gold wash. I think it's absolutely amazing. However, there are more handmade, hand-painted cabochons waiting for you in the bead shop. Also, the so-called swirl flowers in these new colors. Lovely ladies, aren't these amazing? And I think there is something magical about them because we can make them fit the Coral Garden theme, but we can also make them fit a fairy tale world. So I am very curious, what kind of a spin will you take these spur flower cabochons during the upcoming weeks? I also have for you some more colors of the Preciosa Chaton roses in the 7 millimeter most beloved size. The underwater world, it also surprises us with some vibrant colors besides the muted ones. And very often creatures from the underwater world, they have neon eyes or neon hearts, dots on their skins. And that's why I selected the neon colored Preciosa Chaton roses for the Coral Garden Beadingschool Academy team. And we had a few of those colors already available also in the box, but now there are even more, an even bigger variety waiting for you in the beading school bead shop. And lovely ladies, I'm curious, which shape of the cabochon do you like more? Do you like the one that Susie used for her new pendant, or do you like the swirl flower more? I'm very, very curious. And you can follow the link that I posted, or you can also scan the QR code and find everything that is new in the beading school bead shop. Please don't forget that if you place an order in the designated time frame, so until next week's coffee time with Erika, for at least 49 euros, $56, 42 pounds, then you will receive Laura's Rubrum tutorial as a gift. Marta says she hears an echo, and that's my fault, unfortunately, because I have an open window. So that's why unfortunately there is a sound, but I really need it. And Jessica says, the neon colors was a surprise, but I have grown to love them. And Jessica, you totally, totally surprised me because I didn't even point out the neons when I asked, like, okay, so which one, the swirl flower or the coral flower? Because I thought like I would be surprised if that would be someone's like total favorite, because even if we are embracing those neon colors somewhat, they are pretty dividing. They can be pretty dividing. So I'm super happy for you that you dare to embrace them. And Robin says, both are beautiful, but I'm leaning towards the one Susie used. And by the way, I also have images here about the little gifts for the participants of the mini challenge, because everyone is a winner. Everyone will receive a little gift with her next beading school shipment. And when Susie was here visiting me recently, then actually we found this shell shaped cute little trays that are perfect for a pair of earrings, some rings, or maybe a cabochon, some special cabochons on your bead mat. So we bought these shells together with Susie in Amsterdam, and these shell-shaped trays will travel to our lucky winner and our talent winners. And Anista says in the meantime that her favorite was the first cabochon, and also for Marion the urchin, one of Susie. Ariana agrees. And Anita says, I have always loved neon. Ah, so good. So lovely ladies, I would like to thank you for your attention today. I would like to give you a heads up already that on Thursday we will have an offline No One Has to Bead Alone. I'm going to work a little bit from abroad, from Prague, visiting one of my very, very best friends. So I will focus on new designs and I will focus on strategic work. So that's why I will take a little time off from videos. So on Thursday, an offline beading, No One Has to Bead Alone is coming. It means that you will receive a PDF. Also, please, please, please glue your eyes to the screen. There was a specific component that you ladies were very much waiting for. To be specific, the still water petal charms from the Lakeside Poetry Beading School Academy team. You might remember that those were the super cute golden and turquoise colored metal components used many, many times in the middle of different beaded motifs. And then we had them also in silver color and in many other color finishes. And on Thursday they might be restocked, so glue your eyes to the screens, and most importantly add yourself to the waiting lists, because that way you will be between the first ones to know what is happening and when they are back. And also on Friday, I will reveal some of the shapes that we are going to use during the next Beading School Academy team, because next week it is time to see what is the next source of inspiration, the next color combination, the next set of shapes that we are going to learn about. And I'm very excited. Just a little teaser, inspired by the beloved holiday destination of many of us in the treasury. So, lovely ladies, thank you so much for your kind words. Very big embrace to Honey, lots of strength. Thank you so much, ladies, also for sharing your creativity. I am also very, very grateful for all your sparkly bead orders. Wishing you lots of creativity, and please take good care of yourselves and your loved ones. Big hugs to all of you. Bye bye.